Instead of the tooth fairy, she's fighting my freaking demons in my head every night. I don't know who this lady is. Hey guys, today I'm going to be exposing my dream journal. So, this journal I actually bought from a tattoo convention from a guy. So I saw this, and whenever I was thinking about video ideas, I was like, man. And also, this is the back of the book, this is the front. So, it's a little flipped weird, so let's go. This is the first one. So, I tried to make them like more detailed as I got older, but this is one of the earliest dreams that I can remember. And what was going on was, you guys know that SpongeBob scene of like the deleted episode that Patchy the Pirate's trying to find, and he's like, that's just a cheap walk cycle. It was kind of like that kind of vibe of like the round earth and walking. But I was with my family, and we were in kind of like these futuristic outfits, and then I had my iconic pink and purple shiny Skechers on, and I tried to tie my shoe, and whenever I went down and tried to tie it, the world still kept spinning and my family kept walking, so I just like fell off the earth. And this is one of those dreams that was actually reoccurring for me, and the reason why was because each day we would get closer and closer to what I found out at the end of the week was this like chocolate mansion with a fountain, which kind of looks like poop in the picture, but it's supposed to be like a simplified look because I was a child, and I think I was like 4 or 5 for this stream. So that's our opener, and that was something that I'll include more of those if I decide to like draw more of my dreams. But it was so weird because whenever I was younger, I would have dreams that would last like a week. Now I get like 5 in a day. I don't know. But now we can move on to the next one, which is this one. This is a Hatsune Miku rave under my grandfather's Jeep. So don't look at this one for now. So this story was that my grandfather, for the majority of my childhood, had this beige Jeep. And I also have an older sister, and she introduced me to like creepypasta, Vocaloid, MMD, Miku Miku Dance, that's what that stands for. Like, she introduced me to all of those. And I loved Hatsune Miku and Miku Miku Dance so much growing up. And one night I had a dream that we were in a like road trip kind of thing. It was dark, it was at night. And I decided to bend down, and you know that little like carpet piece in a car that's like at the bottom that you can pull out when you're cleaning it? I pulled that up, and underneath it was just this big freaking rave of Hatsune Miku. So that's where that was. Again, super, super simple, and as I got older, as you can see on the next page, it just gets progressively more detailed and confusing. So, the next one, this has a bit of lore to it. So, I grew up in a pretty bad neighborhood, and one of the things that I had to deal with was wanting to leave my house because of bad things. Bad things happened. And as I talked about in my subliminals video, I would listen to desired reality, like subliminals, and I would try to jump out of my body, go to a new reality, go somewhere else. And because of that, I had a lot of strange out-of-body experiences, almost. And the one that I depicted here was one where it was probably a dream, but it felt like I had left my body, and then I was just running outside. That's what I always do in like my dreams where it feels like an out-of-body experience, is I always start running or flying, just immediately just going somewhere like as fast as I can. And with this one specifically, I had got out, I was running around, I was doing laps around the neighborhood, but then I just had this feeling that everything stopped. It felt like those like weirdcore videos where the sky and the grass were like ultra bright. I felt like I was being watched, but I didn't see anybody like outside. It was completely empty, it was completely quiet. And something that I do in nightmares, whenever I know it's a nightmare and I'm trying to get rid of it, is just like start yelling, cursing, antagonizing whatever this monster is. And I just go, "Come at me, you motherfucker. I'm not scared of you. Come get me." And then this guy shows up. So it was so fast. That's why I have like the swirly bits and stuff that I put on him, because it wasn't that he felt like fuzzy or like non-corporeal or anything like that. It was just such a fast blur just running straight towards me, and my neighborhood was like a circle to run around, so it was super scary. But then I woke up, obviously. So on to the next dream, I guess. Next one is also a nightmare, and this one says and his family have gone missing. And for this one, it's actually recent enough. I had this one last year that I have a note in my phone from it. So while the drawing goes of me creating this, I'm gonna read the actual note from my phone about what happened. I calibrated the TV by eye tracking with an Enderman teleporting, asked to create different things in front of me, and then I was asked to create my ideal partner. It's low polygons and then morphs into some random guy in a sitcom-style house and family. I think everything's okay until it clicks back to watching the TV in my bed and red text appears saying, and his family have gone missing or have not been found. Then I think I break out of it and think I'm awake, so I look. And it still says on the TV that Samurai Jack is playing, which is what I fell asleep to that night. But all of the thumbnails have been turned into different screenshots of this random family, just slightly wrong and distorted, like something's happening to them. And I actually woke up that night, like in the middle of the night. I looked at the TV, Samurai Jack was still on, and my boyfriend had the remote, and I was like, "Dude, turn this off. I cannot handle this. I am so scared. I'm so terrified. What do I do?" So yeah, not a good night, not a good experience. But for some reason, nightmares are the most memorable for me. But the next one is not a nightmare, and it is one of the craziest dreams that I've ever had. And that is this fairy chick and some bubble like animals rolling around. And then there's me, and she's over there. And there's me, and then there's her just trying to like talk to me. And the story of this one is another one that felt like an out-of-body experience, but it was like so much time ago that I can't remember if I was actually at my grandfather's house or my boyfriend's house at this point. But this took place at my grandfather's house, this dream did. So I got out of bed, it felt super normal, like everything felt real. And it's the middle of the night, but I feel this strange, compelling urge to go outside. So I do. And when I walk out there, this pixie girl is out there. She's got bright reddish pink hair, bright blue eyes, and she's like flying around. And then I see all these bubble creatures. Honestly, it looked like bubbles, but in my brain I could tell it was like astral beings or something like that, but they were all animals. None of them were people. None of them were humanoid except for the pixie lady. And so she's flying around, she's all crazy. And she comes down to me, she looks at me, and she says, like, she tries to explain what she's doing there. And she's like, "I'm actually in a battle right now. I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to protect your sleep. I do this every single night." Like that's her job, basically. Instead of the tooth fairy, she's fighting my freaking demons in my head every night. I don't know who this lady is. But I'm talking to her, and she's super nice, and she's just really kind. Like, she has a great energy to her. And she was like, "Listen, I gotta go. Like, I gotta go, fight these guys. I gotta corral these bubble animals because they're going crazy." And then I go, well, why can't you take me with you? And then she's like, no, you can't. You can't go with me. You're not a pixie, you're not a fairy. You can't do this. This is not for you. And then I'm like, okay. And then I wake up. And she kissed me on the cheek at one point. I remember that. I don't know what I think that was a like kiss on the cheek goodbye. I don't remember. I have a note from this dream as well, but I'm not sure if it's super helpful. So again, straight up from my notes app. I had a really vivid dream a couple days ago of a fairy with big ass eyes showing up in front of me and grabbing my face and looking at me when I walked outside of my grandpa's house in the middle of the night. She said she was busy fighting these bubble creature things in the sky that kept popping up, and she gave me a kiss on the cheek. I don't know what that was about. She had big blue eyes, tiny nose, tiny mouth, big pointy ears, dark red hair pulled back into a bun. Don't remember what she was wearing exactly. Her wings were pinkish, bluish, see-through color. So what I remember that's not in that note, and that I included in my drawing, was the fact that it looks like she's wearing some kind of like flowers, petals. Like, it didn't look like clothes. It looks like organic material that was kind of like molded onto her body, if that makes sense. But those are just the dreams that I drew. I have so many other ones from my life that I remember so vividly, like a couple that I can tell you about just because it might get you excited for another video like this, is I had a week-long nightmare about the live-action Grinch. And then I also have one that was possibly me being in the astral realm, like going through my own energy and aura or something like that. But those are some of the crazy dreams that I think I want to talk about in a future video if you guys like this, which if you do, hit that like button. But yeah, I think dreams are honestly one of the most interesting things about the human psyche. And something that I tried to do with the drawings themselves, like I explained before, was to make them more simplified, the like younger and less I remember them. So like this one, there's no background because I honestly have such a vivid, like, visual of what it felt like to be there, but I don't feel like that's something I can draw. I feel like that would be something that I have to, like, 3D model and make in VR for it to even, like, make sense, if that makes any sense. And then this one, I drew it like this because it is so chaotic, and this one is really, like, hazy. I didn't even remember this one for a while until it was the middle of the night and I was watching Cat in the Hat, like the live action Cat in the Hat, and my brain suddenly remembered that I had this dream whenever I was like 7. It was weird. This one I had whenever I was like 14, I think, something like that, like 14, 15. Then like I said, this one was last year, and then this one I think was really early this year or late 2025, one of those. But I also tried to make I also tried to make this one like more like scraggly feeling as like a direct opposite to this one as well, because I knew I was gonna put a bunch of effort into this one, because other than the TV part, none of this like made sense. I knew I was in bed, but it felt like I was like locked in on the TV. It was really spooky. But yeah, that is about it for today. Let me know down in those comments how you felt about my dreams, as well as any other crazy and super memorable dreams that you've had. If you want to see any more of my videos, you can hit that subscribe button. And if you want to support me in other ways, you can check out my Ko-Fi, which, trying to determine a goal, I'll figure it out eventually. But for now, stay dreaming, look out for fairies, and don't ruin my dream journal! Bye! He ruined my dream journal! I did not! Mr. Electric, send him to the principal's office and have him expelled!